Hello, Glow Nation. Welcome back to another episode. So happy to have everybody with me today. Just real quick before I get started in all this, can I get hearts if you folks can actually hear me? Because I know Twitter has been a pain. Okay, I see hearts. Fantastic. That is what I was hoping for. Also, if I get a retweet real quick, I'd really appreciate it so we can get everybody in here. I know we're a little earlier than normal, so we want to make sure we get our whole family and friends in. Um, okay. So today we have a special guest. If I can get him up as a speaker, I got Boda V2 as our guest today. So we're going to be learning a little bit about that project. Very happy about that. First of all, let me go over who I got up here. I have the Greek DeFi guru who is streaming our show right now on his YouTube channel. Hello, Mr. Greek. How are you this evening?
What is up, Legions? Sorry, I had to get in a better spot. I'm at work.
See, that's dedication right there. He is still working and working with us too. We appreciate you. I don't know if you guys can see pinned tweets or not. I pinned his channel to the top. I can't see it, but maybe it's there. I don't know. But if not, look at one of my last tweets. I tweeted out his YouTube channel where he is broadcasting this as we speak. Is that right? Or is it going to be tonight?
This is live right now.
Hey, we're live on YouTube's. Also, if it's working, I am streaming this also on YouTube on the Glow official YouTube channel. So let's see if it works. I also posted that as a pinned tweet if it's there. If not, it's one of my last tweets as well. And the man with a plan, the guy who puts all of this stuff together, my official producer and co-host, Mr. Jason. So happy to have you back. How are you this evening?
I am doing better. Really appreciate Twitter cooperating this afternoon. It's been a rough couple of shows. You've done absolutely amazing, carrying everything through, and looking forward to it. Great guest tonight, and a couple of really cool guests coming up in the next couple of days. But we'll get to that later.
Yes.
Because our superstar Billy with Boda is coming up. Mr. Billy, how are you this afternoon, sir?
I'm gonna get.
Good morning. Sorry, was that for me?
Yay, Mr. Billy, I can hear you. How are you doing this evening, sir?
It's morning for me and it's freezing.
It's
freezing cold.
What part of the world are you in, Billy?
I'm in Australia and it's cold for me, all right. It's like 5 degrees Celsius, which is like 30 something Fahrenheit. I don't know. But it's cold. So yeah, I've got 2 jumpers on, long pants, socks. But I'm doing it. I'm up early. The sun hasn't come out yet, so I'm just waiting for the sun to come out. So
well, thank you.
Heat up a bit.
Thank you for waking up in the future to be with us. We really appreciate it.
Anything for you, mate. Anything for you.
We also had come up to speak, Mr. Shane. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm all good. And yourself, Carl and Jason and Billy? I hope you're keeping well.
And Shane,
go
ahead.
And the Greek DeFi guru, of course, as well.
So officially up here, we've got U.S., Ireland, UK, British area. What do you call it? Great Britain area.
Oh,
ooh. He's like, oh.
Ireland's not Great Britain.
Be careful. Be careful with that one. You're going to start World War III if you don't watch it.
We have Ireland in the house, and Australia. So, yes, we have 3 different countries. I'm so happy about that. Mr. Jason, would you like to go over our disclaimers, please, sir?
Absolutely. As everyone knows, if you've heard us before, I see a lot of familiar faces. Very good to see you all back. Please retweet the space that's going on right now. We need to get our normal crowd in here so that everyone can hear. Mr. Billy. And as we always say, Legion and I do this for entertainment and educational purposes only. And, nothing that we say here is to be construed as financial advice. And additional disclaimer, I personally hold Boda V2. So with that said, do you want to? I would like to hear a little bit about Billy. Legion, what do you think?
Yes. One question, real quick. Can anyone see pinned tweets to the top? Can anyone give me a heart if you can see pinned tweets? Because that's going to change my whole dynamic. Okay. Nobody is.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
No.
Well, I had a whole plan. Okay. One of my pinned tweets. You can have to just look at one of my last tweets. Then I'll go retweet it right now. We actually have a giveaway tonight of 50 billion Boda token. I'm gonna say glow Boda token. Just retweeted that. So that's actually that tweet is open and live, so you guys can go and do that now while we're discussing, and we'll announce the winners a little bit later on. Okay, with no further ado, Mr. Billy, you are up for Boda. To start off, would you like to tell us just a general introduction? We always call it like elevator pitch. What is Boda V2? Tell us what is this project?
Good morning, good evening. So my name is Billy. I guess you say I'm the CEO and founder of Boda V2. And we started off originally, we are a BSD reward token, just like Glow V2. So we offer that automatically for holders who hold Boda V2. And we've paid out, I think over $1 million now since launch. So it's pretty exciting stuff. It's definitely not easy, especially in this current market, to get that volume going. So we're happy about that, at least. And we've got some other things in the works. So we've got our Boda swap now, which is our first utility, which is obviously helping to also boost our ecosystem within our token. And that swap bypasses a slippage on Pancake Swap, so it helps with you getting just a bit more bang for your buck when you are purchasing tokens, because sometimes with Pancake Swap you can lose a little bit in the swap, in the trade. So we've got our Boda swap that facilitates that. Obviously, we've got tokens like Glow and a few other tokens on there that we work with and we partnered with through our own little deck swap there. You can sometimes get slightly less gas fees. It doesn't work all the time, but it does work sometimes, which is a bonus. And then we've got our fiat on-ramping, which just helps people to get, crypto to fiat a lot easier with our swap. And then we've got our marketplace coming up. We've just launched our lottery, which was supposed to be done on Saturday, and we had some tech issues, but it's live now. So that's a bit of an exclusive for you guys. So our Boda lottery is live and functioning. So if you want to check it out at bodalottery.app, you can go have a look, play with it now. So that's exciting stuff. And then we've just got some other cool things coming up, collabs obviously with you guys and other token projects as well that we've we're excited for the future.
Thank you for that general introduction. I appreciate. What I'm gonna do is I have some notes, and we're gonna go. We're gonna really dive into the project and kind of go piece by piece. So normally what I do is do a general introduction, just give people an idea of is it NFT, is it crypto, what are we here talking about. Then we kind of go in depth with the project, kind of pick apart everything, and then at the end of it, I'm gonna ask questions about you, Billy. We want to know the person behind the project. So we want to remind people that one, we want to unite DeFi. We want to all be together. But more importantly, the people behind these profiles and behind these projects are actual human beings. So we want to get to know them, and I feel like that might help, even in a small way, people be maybe a little bit nicer on Twitter when they're want to do that mean little tweet and mean little post to remember that, oh yeah, this is an actual guy. His name is Billy, and he's really nice. So maybe I should maybe I shouldn't say that mean thing that I was going to say. So try and bring people together and bring a little glow and a little light with everywhere. Is that all okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Yeah, we're rock and roll.
Perfect.
And do it your way.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm just here to chill, mate. I've been around here for too long. I've been around this space for way too long. So, yeah. How do you want to do it?
Yeah,
Let's go.
from looking at your information, Boda actually started April of 21, so it's a project is actually technically a year old since September for V2, but April was when the introduction of Boda actually started. So yeah, Boda's been around for a little while, and I'm sure Billy's been in crypto before that, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's see. The first thing I want to talk about with your project, you actually have, okay, so we know that there is reflections with buy and sells. There's rewards in BUSD. So there's tokenomics that go along with it, very much like Glow. But you've kind of put in some cool things here to make it a little bit more interesting. There's actually a function that does burn. So can you tell us a little bit about the burn function of the project?
Yeah, easy. So on every buy and sell, there's an auto burn function which just fills up in the contract, so they'll never be touched. They can never be accessed. They never earn any BUSD. We do an additional manual burn, so we're doing that every week. So we do a weekly burn. That it's part of sort of the fees that get collected to our marketing wallet, and then we just break it up and burn them every week. And with the weekly burns, though, they'll eventually sort of slow down or stop to a point when, if our supply gets extremely low, where it doesn't become economical, right, for the burns to continue. So then the auto burns will still keep going, but the weekly burns we've started to do is just to speed up the process, because otherwise on the auto burns it would just take forever, basically. So that's just a little bonus that we've been doing for last sort of 6 months or so, I think.
And
When
it's
you get to the point, I'm sorry, Legion, but
no, go
Billy, when
ahead.
you get to the point where the supply um, is dropping, and it's starting to get tight, have you had any thoughts or conversations about switching from a buyback and burn to a buyback and reward type function?
Well, the issues with that though is that it's all written in the smart contracts, all hard coded. So any changes that you want to make to like the fundamentals of what's set in concrete in the smart contract, you'd actually have to deploy an entire new smart contract. So while we could build sort of scripts and bots and things to sort of maybe throw some money into a different smart contract, so we could build like a smart contract AI or something. We'd throw funds in there, and then they could distribute to all the wallet holders. And say we could scan BSC scan to sort of scan all our existing holders. You could do it that way, but it wouldn't be as sort of automated or simplified as having it written in the smart contract. But that's definitely something along the lines in the future. I mean, with our lottery system we've got now too, we've added a charity element to it as well. So something like PancakeSwap they don't do. So when you put into our lottery and you buy a ticket, a portion of that will go to a charity pot, so we can start doing more charity things like you guys do. So that's something in terms of an external function. So we could add utilities on an external function to try and help create new utilities and facilities that we can't edit in our smart contract, if that makes sense.
Nice. I like it. Is there a definitive number for the burn to stop, or is that kind of a to be announced, to be decided later kind of idea?
Yeah, it'd be a to be decided kind of thing. It all depends on basically the ratio, right, of the whole BNB liquidity pool. So because it's paired to BNB, so what the pairing of BNB and LP is, because you can't really, unless the LP is unlocked, you can't really take any of the tokens out of LP anyway. So all that's really we can burn is what people are trading, because the taxes come from the buy and sells. So if people stop altogether, if people stop buying and selling altogether, and nobody ever buys and sells for like a year or two, then we won't be able to burn, because part of that whole burning process comes from the fee. But realistically, people buy and sell every day. So there will always be a percentage of people that are buying and selling where we can get the fees from. But with the manual burning, like I said, with the manual burns, it's sort of under our control. And so once it comes to a point where it's like, all right, well, now the auto burns can kind of take control, And then the thing with those, like I said, with the burning sort of stuff, is that even if the supply got down to like 1,000 tokens, for example, it would still keep auto burning from people buying and selling. It would just be a fraction of that, right? So right now it's, like 2.5% or something of, well, what are we at? Like 600, I think we're like 600 billion or something like that, or 600 trillion, sorry. So you can imagine the numbers can be quite high. But then if it comes down to 1,000 tokens, the numbers would probably be fraction, right? Like 0.0000 something one of a token gets burned every week or something, for example.
Yeah, sure. And one thing that I want to point out is, you talked about your liquidation pool being locked. And for me personally, as an investor, I mean that's one of the absolute must-haves, to avoid some of this, few and far between. But some of these rug pulls we see sometimes where, the LP pool, the liquidation pool isn't locked, and all the other kind of stuff. You touched on a charity aspect for what Boda is trying to do. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How much goes to that? How do you select or identify the charities? And is there any vetting or validation sort for the charities that you're looking into?
Yeah, so it'll be pretty similar to those who are a part of Glow will understand. So it basically be a similar concept where we will contact charities or we'll get in touch with them and then we'll vet them. What my biggest thing and why I haven't introduced a charity element since sort of last year is my personal thing with charities is a lot of them can also rip you off. And that's not obviously a blanket claim saying all charities are bad, because they're not. But there can be some who will take your money and they don't spend it where they should be spending it, right? And that's one of the big things that's been with me. And that's also, when it comes to crypto as well, like being very careful where your money goes. And, obviously you don't want to get scammed or rugged with crypto. So I take a similar approach with everything, including charities. Now, the thing I know Brian does with Glow is he, especially in America, he gets to contact them, right, and speak to the people there. Whereas me being in Australia, we've got a few and far between the charities that I can actually go meet. Whereas, a lot of them are overseas. But one thing I've done is I've reached out to Binance Charity, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. But I've reached out to them because they are quite a well-known charity, but they also are within the crypto space. So it would make sense to also try and, interact with the charity that also takes crypto. So that's one thing that I'm looking at the moment. There is an Australian one, though, that is part of Binance Charity, which is a Koala Foundation. So I'm just trying to get in touch with the lady who runs it there as well. Again, so I can have a bit more of a face-to-face meet. But they take crypto as well. So that's the sort of stuff that I look into with the charities. But yeah, similar process to what you guys do at Glow, or at least what Brian does. You guys still there? No.
Yeah, we are. I think Legion is maybe muted at the time. Come on, Legion, you're there. I know you're there. So he's probably working on some stuff in the background. One of the other things that was of interest, we talked about the burn aspect. Um, Talk about, if you can, the buyback aspect of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so with the buyback and burn, it's essentially us buying back our own tokens to increase the volume, right, and to add volume into it. And then obviously, ideally, it's to increase the price as well. Now, people are going to be aware with buyback and burns, though, is that everyone's entitled to sell as well. So just because a token project decides to do buyback and burns doesn't guarantee the price will continuously go up and up and up every time they do it. Because obviously, someone on the other end, after you do a buyback, could end up selling. But what buyback and burns do is increase volume. And when you're a reward token that takes a tax percentage out of the trade volume and puts it back into rewards, that's beneficial. So the way I try and explain to people with buyback and burns is every time we do it, it'll be injecting bonus rewards, a bonus BUSD into our BUSD dividend pool, which means everyone holding will get a little extra than they probably normally would on like a normal weekly trading volume. And then because we're going to be buying them back and then burning them, so it's not like we're buying them, then holding them to then keep earning BUSD off them or anything like that. We'll just buy them and then we'll send them to the burn wallet. So they'll be gone forever as well. So they won't be able to be traded ever again. They'll never earn BUSD. That'll help to reduce the supply as well. But that's the main benefit of a buyback and burn. So now that we've got our new lottery up, which is going to collect extra fees towards that, we've got we've got our merchandise, which we say we collect the commission from the merchandise sales. So they only pay us like every month or so in the commissions. But we put that back towards buyback, and then we just burn the tokens that we buy back. And then eventually with the NFT marketplace, other utilities that we're building, with our yield fund stuff that we're building as well, we'll just take a fee out of that, which would go back towards doing buyback and burn. So that's just all part of the ecosystem. And it's essentially just, like I said, it's just for any project to just self-inject volume, especially right now with it being a bear market. I mean, all of us have noticed that our trading volume is quite low. So you're kind of dead in the water, really, if you're not doing it.
Real quick before we move on to the next topic, if I could, since I have a little bit more people in here, please retweet out the space, please, one more time. I'd really appreciate it. And just to remind you guys, there is a contest running currently for 50 billion tokens times 3. There's going to be 3 winners. That is one of my last tweets. I can't seem to pin anything to the top. So go look and see one of my last tweets. Yes, my last tweet. Actually, I'm going to pin it to my profile. I'll do that right now. Okay, it's pinned to my profile. So you can actually win. So make sure you go and do that. Pin, not tweet. You can't tweet the pin. Yay. Okay, so it's my last tweet. So make sure you go retweet that, comment, follow, do all that cool stuff. And I know some people are having issues. So there is YouTube channels right now. Greek is streaming this as we speak. And I think Glownation, I'm streaming it on the official Glow page as well. So if you guys are having a hard time hearing us, please feel free to listen in on YouTube as well. With that being said, actually, how about this? I'm going to go ahead and pick my first winner right now. And while I do that, give me a chance to do my little Twitter picker. Billy, can you tell us about the Boda Swap Exchange? Which I will add in. Glow V2 is available on the Boda Swap Exchange. It's really cool. Can you tell us a little bit about the Boda Swap Exchange, please, sir?
Yes, I can. Also, just quickly, I can see all the pin tweets of everyone else but you. So I don't know if it's your Twitter that's broken, but yeah, I can see Greek, myself, and Shane. We've been like sharing your Legion tweet in the pinned post of this Spaces. So I'm not sure if anyone else can see them, but I definitely can see theirs. I just can't see yours.
Okay, so there are pinned tweets. Okay, cool. I can't see
Yeah,
any
there
pinned
are.
tweets whatsoever. So
Yeah, so I've added that pinned tweet up there, Legion, for you for the chance to win 50 billion glow. So it's pinned. It is pinned in the space, and I can see it anyway.
Yeah, I confirm. I can see it as well. So just not sure if the other guys can see it, but
yay, Twitter.
I personally don't see it. I'm seeing something from Legion, 47 minutes ago. So it's Twitter being Twitter. We're going to work it out.
Yeah,
Legion,
that is the tweet, Jason.
yeah, it looks like
okay.
it looks like some of the normal. Yeah, it looks like the normal listeners can see ours. So it must just be you guys that Twitter is poo-pooing.
Yeah.
That's all right.
that is about right, and that has been happening, and we love Twitter, and we can't wait for Elon to take over and save us. So, Legion, how are you coming with the contest, buddy?
I am putting in all of the cool stuff right now. So give me another minute. Right. So tell us about Exchange.
Yeah. All right. So we created Boda Swap. We launched it in March, and it's a pretty cool utility. We figured out how to bypass the slippage on PancakeSwap by just directly plugging into the liquidity. We also have a bonus which we don't know how we did, and we've had other devs dig into it and try and figure out how we did it. None of us know how, but we're not paying the extra 0.17% liquidity tax that PancakeSwap says they charge. Now, I don't have proof of this, so it's just speculation. But there's a theory that perhaps PancakeSwap charges that through their front end, not their back end. Because if you go to PancakeSwap, it says it charges 0.25% plus 0.17% to liquidity, blah blah. So it should add up to about 3.2 or something ridiculous. But with ours, you don't get charged that either. So essentially, going through us, you bypass the slippage. Now, slippage shouldn't be a fee, and it is only really taxed as a fee if the price shoots up extremely high between the minute that you press transaction and the transaction completes and the tokens come to your wallet. However, again, with PancakeSwap, in some instances, you can get taxed a small sort of 2 to 3% extra. So say if your buy tax is 12% and then you put your slippage in at 15%, you should only really be getting charged the 12% buy tax. But in some cases, you'll get charged the full 15% through PancakeSwap. Whereas we've found a lot of times through Boda Swap, you should only get charged that full 12% tax because that is the buy tax. You shouldn't be getting charged anything else. So that's some, like a cool thing that we've figured out. And that's why, you guys like Glow and other projects have been excited and to jump on board with us. Because at the end of the day, when you're getting buys in, you're paying B&B. And even if you only get a fraction more of your token, the token project themselves, it's not like you're having to sell more tokens. It's not like you're getting ripped off because you're still getting the equivalent. It's just that your new buyers, your new holders are just getting a slight fraction more than they would off PancakeSwap. So everyone kind of, it's win-win for everyone because the project still gets their B&B and liquidity. And the new buyer or the new holder or the existing holder, if they use Boda Swap, will just get a fraction more of your tokens. So it works out for everyone. And that's what we kind of designed. And that's the purpose of it. That was the whole mindset of what I wanted to do with that, to create a swap that actually had a purpose for it instead of it just being, just another PancakeSwap copy. There are I've heard there's some new utilities coming out now that are doing like sell-less swap things and yada, 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 which are using smart contracts to kind of layer on top of existing swaps and things like that, which are coming out. So yeah, there's a lot of innovation coming out too with some of these swaps.
Hey, Billy, I have a question real quick. Is Richard Casper One Crypto V2, is he part of the team?
No, he's not part of the team, but he is our volunteer mod.
Okay, good.
Come up in the spin wheel.
Because he won. He won. I was going to be silly if one of the core team won. I'm like, okay. So, Richard, I think we sent you an invite to come up. So one of our rules is you got to come up and just say hello. So we make sure you're a real person. So Richard, can you come up and say hello? We sent you a request. You just won 50 billion Boda V2 tokens.
That is awesome. Richard's been with us since V1, and he's a trooper. He's so awesome. I used to talk a lot in voice chat and stuff back in the day because I haven't been able to do a lot lately. And then one time I was like, "Hey, where do you live?" And he's like, "America, blah blah." And I ended up sending him like Vegemite and shit.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Yep, just walking out of work. Thanks for the awesome news.
Well, you won. Congratulations. I'm betting you already have some, but we just added to that bag.
Heck yeah, I'll take it. How's it going, Billy?
Good, mate.
I'm about to start driving, so I'll catch you guys later.
All right. Thanks, Richard. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, Richard is bloody awesome.
Well, that worked out nice, didn't it?
Yeah, he's been a trooper, man. Like, he's just every single day just on Twitter, like, doing his bit, and he works all the time as well. And he just takes time off. Like, now, like he said, he was walking to his car or something, like, and he just jumps on, chills out. He's probably been, like, using our hashtags and tweeting like he does every day. Yeah. Couldn't have gone a better bloke.
And we still have 2 more giveaways to go, so don't let that deter you, folks, because we still have 2 more giveaways to do. So that's just the winner number 1. We'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll do another giveaway in like 10 minutes or so. I'll do a redraw, and then toward the end of it, we'll do the last one. So congratulations to our first winner. Okay, what is the next thing I want to talk about? Let's
While
do.
you're looking at that, Legion, Billy, do you have a hard drop time? Do you have to drop at a certain time for a meeting or anything? Because you guys have so much awesome stuff going on, and throughout my research and Legion's research, and there's so many things we want you to bring up. But based on the time of day, or based on your other meetings and obligations, do you have a hard drop time, or can we go a little bit
No.
over now?
Yeah, you can go forever. Yeah.
Forever.
My morning's free, mate.
Hey,
Pardon me. It's bloody 7:30.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Easy,
3
mate.
hours.
There is that so there's that crypto cup thing, but I'm not playing in it. But that thing starts in like 2 hours or something. But yeah, but I can stay in chat, chat and whatever, because I don't have to. I'm not obligated to that. So
That's cool. We won't keep you 2 hours. I just wanted to make sure from the production aspect of it, that we didn't have to hard drop you after an hour. So, Legion, you were going to say something, sir.
Yeah, the next thing that spoke to me doing my research was yield farming. Can you tell us a little bit about the yield farming part of the project?
yeah, so that's something that's been on our roadmap since even V1 days. And the only reason why we couldn't do it V1 was because that was a locked contract, so a renounced contract. And then I think a lot of people know the backstory to it, but basically the backstory is that the original dev launched it. I got behind him. A lot of us did, and then he decided I didn't want to do it anymore after 24 hours, and he locked the contract and walked away. So then I just took over as a community manager, and that's kind of how this whole thing started. And so with V1, I'd try to figure out ways to do a yield farm and everything with it, because it was a locked token. We couldn't, so we got into V2. Now, it's always been the plan to yield farms, but the tricky thing with yield farms that I think people also may not realize, just being on the outside of it, is from an internal perspective, is that you've got to create the economics where if you're farming, you're staking, or you're farming, is that you're earning that token, right? So then what happens if you're essentially you're storing in some BNB, you're storing in some tokens, you're getting tokens back, which are quote unquote free in a way. And then all these people are getting tokens and they start dumping, right? You're creating this economy where you're basically fueling the fire when it comes to the sell pressure, right? Because understandably, people put in yield farms, they get the tokens out, they just keep dumping because they're just like, well, this is a $300 I got, cool, I'm going to cash it out. There's no incentive for them to hold, etc., etc. So with our yield farms, sort of coming up with the idea to have a separate reward token, right? So then that separate token will have its own little, liquidity supply, its own little ecosystem. But then you'll have incentive to sort of put in our Boda token and to put in that into the yield farm to then farm this other reward token. And so that'll also won't create a lot of sell pressure on our token either, because you won't be earning Boda token per se. You'll be earning that other reward token. But then that other reward token will also have its own little benefits as well. And if you look around the space now too, like that's kind of what everyone's doing anyway. You've got all these like trader tokens coming out now. You've got, everyone's trying to do different things, like create a separate token for their wallets. So you have like your main project token, but then you have another one which you need to hold to access the wallet. So they'll call it like Bippity Bop wallet token or something. You know what I mean? Like, but that all in the background things. And when you're running a project, it all comes down to the economics of it. And essentially, what you don't want to do is you don't want to create a system that also floods your tokens out on the market where you're going to get dumped on, basically. So that's what's going to happen with our yield farm, is that we're going to have to build. We don't have to. We are in the process of building just a new reward token, which is also pretty exciting.
Absolutely. So in doing this, new reward token. I mean, you've explained how it's going to sort of be fed by Boda B2. To switch gears just a little bit, talk to me about the lottery aspect. We've talked charity, we've talked so many other things. Talk to me about the lottery aspect of what you're trying to do.
Yes, the lottery that's live right now. So it is just works the same way as Pancake Swap Lottery. So those who've played around with the Pancake Swap Lottery, they'll notice that the aesthetics looks very similar as well. We have obviously changed the colors around and things like that. We've done a lot in the back end to change it. So we've obviously had to write our own smart contract for it and everything like that. But on the visual side of things, it does look similar to Pancake Swap Lottery. It works in a similar function as well. So those who've played Pancake Swap Lottery will know that if you buy the ticket, now there'll be Pancake Swap does, I think, 12 hourly draws, but we're doing weekly at the moment. So right now, because we didn't launch on Saturday and our time is every Saturday, the current one that's up now for the round 1 expires in about 2 days, 4 hours. And then on Saturday, it'll reset to round 2. So every round you have to have tickets in the lottery, just like a normal stakes lottery in the real world. But every time you buy a ticket, you're adding to the pot. Now, if the pot doesn't win, if no one wins the pot, it'll just automatically get pushed over to the next round, and so on and so on. So there could even be a chance where if no one wins for a long time, say if no one wins the major prize for months, I mean, it could get to the tens of thousands. It could even get to like $100,000 prize pot. Because I think the Pancake Swap one at the moment is sitting at about 200K, 200,000 US dollars worth of cake. Now with the distribution, so we'll have with the lottery, you can still win if you match the very first number. In terms of the ticket system, it's on a rotary randomize, like a number randomizer. Again, the same way Pancake Swap's done. So it's all fair. You can pick your own numbers if you want to as well. But the draws are done through a random number generator. And that's through another smart contract as well. So we don't touch it. Our random number generator is done through a smart contract instead of done through the front end as well. So that also reduces any manipulation, because if it was done through the front end, then you could argue that we could tap in and then we could mess with the graphs and with the like the information on the UI and the front end of the website. We can't do that because it's all done through the smart contract, which connects to a random number generator smart contract on BSC chain, or BNB chain, I should say. So we can't even manipulate it, even if we wanted to. So that's another security safety aspect as well of our lottery. And I mean, Brian and I are similar as well. Like, we're all about security and just making sure that things are fair and honest. So that's just something that we've got put into our lottery as well. But yeah, you can match the first prize or the first number, second number, third number, fourth number, fifth number. And if you match all 6, that's when you get the big prize. And then we also have the buyback and burn pot and the charity pot, which all comes out of the single ticket fee as well.
Nice. I love all the similarities between our two projects. It's like a lot alike, but then totally different too. So I love it. Let's see. This was the part that I really like this part. NFT marketplace, NFT metaverse game. Talk to me. Tell me about the NFT portion of the project.
Yes, sir. Well, okay, technically now we are in a metaverse game thanks to Meta Arcade, which I believe you guys are on as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Meta Arcade, we are in the metaverse. We are going to still build our own metaverse game, but right now we are in the metaverse with them. And thanks to Meta Arcade, so they've built us a ship and we have our own planet. And there's going to be some more developments in the future that we obviously can't talk about right now. But that is one side of it. Now, with the ships that we've got part of Meta Arcade, I believe half of the NFT comes back to us. So, goes back into Boda token. So that's a really cool thing too. So people who are purchasing those NFTs, we get a share of, which helps to increase our token and basically puts volume back into that as well. So that's really, really nice of them to do, because they didn't have to do that. They could have just easily taken 100% of the profits for that one. So really thankful for that. But yeah, our metaverse game will be, sort of similar, not similar game design, but similar kind of concepts where they'll have, ways to put back into our token, but also, work within ecosystems, work with other projects. With our NFT marketplace, that will be under a different name. So it'll be basically like a different brand. So imagine something like OpenSea. I basically want it to be a better version of OpenSea. It's going to start on 3 chains. So it'll start on BNB, Ethereum, and Polygon. So that's really cool. And then what I'm doing with other projects is we're currently talking about having exclusive project lines within the marketplace, because it's still in development stage. So we've got time to sort of work all this out before it's finalized. We will have our own reward NFT on there, which will actually start to reward holders from the volume of our marketplace, which I think is kind of cool, because there's not really a marketplace that does that right now. So let's say you hold the special NFT from the marketplace that will give you rewards. And let's say, we go, all right, well, these NFTs will get 10% of the total volume, trading volume each month. And then if the marketplace does 100 ETH of volume in a month, well, then you get 10% of that. So you might get 10 ETH, from that a month. That's just a really basic, simple, like flat out number, just to try and give that example. But we think that'll be kind of a cool idea too. So then if you hold an NFT, you'll earn the dividends. And then if you on-sell them or move them around, then obviously you lose those dividends and the next person gets them. The one big question people ask at the moment is like, how much is it going to cost? Obviously, we don't know that yet, because it's obviously one of those unrealized value things. Like, you don't know what the trading volume will be on the marketplace. So how can you set a number on something that has unrealized gains? But we'll get to that when we get there. I think we'll just do an auction to begin with. And then whoever gets sort of the first few reward NFTs will probably be the most luckiest people, because if they get them at $100, for example, and then they start making, $1,000 a month or something just on rewards from the marketplace, I mean, that's a pretty good bargain. So that's something we've got no ideas. We've also got a music platform. So I want to build it like Spotify, iTunes style. So you'll be able to, so we'll have our Boda V2 tokens that will be there as a subscription token. So you just need to hold Boda V2, and then you'll be able to access a subscription portal or a VIP portal. So that'll come into play, and that'll be more significant in terms of the music side as well. So you'll be able to subscribe to people so you can listen to their music for free. We'll have a podcast place too. So we'll have podcasts on there, so people can either subscribe by paying, say, for example, you pay BUSD for a subscription, just like you do with Spotify, or you've got to hold a certain amount of Boda tokens or something to get access to it or something. So that's something we've got in mind too. Another one I'm tossing up is potentially a token for the marketplace, and then having that interact with the marketplace as well. But again, you got to think about the ecosystem, because there's no point just throwing up tokens just for a cash grab, because it's just, to me, it's not worth it. To me, it's not worth having a marketplace token just for a bit of a quick cash grab when it actually has no sense in the marketplace. But yeah, that's some of those ideas that are flipping around. You can see the preview of the marketplace too, actually, on our YouTube. Our YouTube channel, I did a bit of I think it's like a 10-15 minute kind of spiel and like a walkthrough on the demo version of it. So if people want to check it out, see what it's like, it's pretty cool.
Nice. And you've got to be in that space right now to survive, because you've got to keep evolving with the crypto world. And if you're not in the NFT world, then someone else is going to get the notice that you want. So I'm loving that y'all are in the metaverse and in the NFT part too.
Yeah, it's the music too, man. Like, music's what's hype at the moment with NFTs, and I've been hitting up a few artists already. And there's a future potential though if big record labels come on board, and then if you can secure a record label, man, and then if you can get their label branched on your site, and so whenever someone looks up Sony, or whatever, and then all the Sony artists will come under one category, And you could even get even it doesn't matter, even independents, right? This is how people used to start off on MySpace and stuff. Used to put stuff on MySpace, and then record labels would discover them, things like that. So there's a flip side to that, where you could have all these artists on our music player site, and then have some big record labels and big players in the game, check it out, be like, oh, this is cool. And you never know, they might just stumble across it because they're checking out the whole NFT music thing, and they might find an artist who they're like, damn, they sing really, or they put out really good music. Possibilities are endless, mate.
I love it. Let's see. I've got a winner. I can't see who's in the space. So you have to, if you hear me, please request to come up because I can't send you a request. Sarita with Safe Moon logos all over your profile, so I kind of love that. Sarita, Safe Moon, are you here? Are you live in the space? I see you retweeted everything not that long ago, so please come up if you can hear me, Sarita, because you just won. I really hate that I can't see my listeners and see who's here right now. I have no idea who's listening to me right now. I can see like the top 2 rows, and that is it. So it's kind of annoying. So, Sarita, are you here? Because I would love to give you 50 billion of these tokens, this amazing project.
I'm not seeing them on here right now, but while we give them a minute, one of the things that caught my interest, Billy, was the token minter. So while we wait on Sarita to come up and make sure that they're not a bot and they're a real person, can you talk to us about the token minter?
Oh yeah, that's on the back burner, that one. Yes, that is part of our. So initially, I had an idea to do a whole DEX platform with a launchpad. So the token minter, the token locker, they were going to come in to synchronize with the launchpad with their own DEX. So we have our Boda swap at the moment, which we can add our own LP contracts onto to make that its own launchpad if we wanted to. But we've obviously had a few delays with our yield farm and things like that. In this space too, you've got to adjust with the conditions as well, which is why I've pushed more to the NFT stuff instead of doing the launchpad stuff. But that is something, again, on our roadmap. It's still on my whiteboard to have a launchpad that will also have its own locker and its own minter. Basically, if people aren't familiar, it's like what DEX sales used to have. They might still have it. It's where you can kind of go to a site, you can pick a bunch of options of a contract. It'll be a templated smart contract, but you'll have options to go, I want to set the tax to this. Do I want rewards? Do I not want rewards? Just some basic functions. And then you put in like your owner address and things like that. And then you mint, you pay a fee, and then it mints the smart contract for you. And it basically just ties that owner wallet, the one that you control. And then when you want to make edits for it after it's launched on the network, you just go through like Remix or BSC scan or whatever to make the commands, to launch it or whatever. Or we would help you do that, but that's going to be more technical. But yeah, that's basically kind of how it would be. We're going to change it up a bit now because you got other tokens now doing their own launchpad things, which is a little bit different. And now you've got bloody people going around doing this whole sellless launchpad swap shit. So excuse my French, but which someone like me who knows how it works is like, they're just trying to pull the wool over your eyes. But yeah, anyway.
We finally found a winner. Sorry, Billy. We were working in the background trying to find us a winner, and I'm having to like pick and then send it to Jason to say, okay, is this person here? Is this person here? And we finally found someone who actually exists and is in the space. Travis, we sent you a request to come up. Please come up and say hello. Someone in the enhanced community, which we love very, very, very much. And I love doing this. I get people that are really shy that never speak in Twitter Spaces, and I make them come up and say hello, so they can see that
Good, man.
it's totally okay.
Yeah, totally fine. Listen to us just yabber on about nonsense. Half people in here are like, what are they talking about?
I do that like 3 times a week. Just me and Jason just yammering on about nonsense for hours at an end, and it's totally fine. No one's hurt us. Everything's worked out totally okay. And people even come back and listen to us do it again for some reason. So yeah, it totally works.
Who would have thought, huh?
Right? Who would have thought?
I'm wondering if it's. Have you guys updated your phones? Because there was an update last night, at least on mine.
You know,
I actually started with a new phone today because Twitter would not let me on the show for the last 2 episodes. So mine is totally new and updated, and I can see Travis. He's there. The other ones, I've got the full list here. The other ones I did not see, but Travis is tuned in and listening. We just need him to come up. I mean, he's with Enhance, like Legion said. We just had Enhance on not that long ago, week or so maybe. Great bunch of folks. A lot of things have come from that, but
let's try this. Jason, watch Travis's profile picture. Travis, can you hear me? And do you know you won? Give me a heart. If you give me a heart, you know you won. Then just message Billy and get your winnings. So tell me if Travis gives us a heart or a clap or a laugh or something. Any interaction. Nothing from Travis. Travis, what are you doing? What are you doing, Travis? Let me see.
I have no idea, but I'm not getting any kind of reactions here on my side.
All right, let me see. Give me.
You have to do a redraw
So,
again.
yeah, so here's what we're going to do. While my buddy Legion is working his magic in the background.
No, hang on, he's up now. Hang on, he's up.
What's that?
I saw Travis come up.
Oh, yeah, I sent him a request. Did he come up? Yeah, we got him.
Yeah, he's up now.
Yeah, Travis, come on.
What's up, guys?
Yay! You're a real person, Travis, and you can hear us.
Of course, I'm real.
Yay! You just won Boda V2 tokens.
Awesome.
So thank you for coming and listening. See, we make it worth your while, right?
Yes,
we
sir.
totally make it worth your while to come hang out.
Thank you very much.
So if you would message Billy, and he'll get you taken care of. And we have one more giveaway that we're gonna do at the very end. So one more to go. So you'll still have a chance. So if you haven't followed the instructions on that tweet, please go do that now. Okay, that was hard to give away tokens. Okay, I think I've just about hit my I've hit my key points. Okay, cool. So now I'm at one of my favorite parts. Please, if you would, tell us, how did you get into this? How did you get into crypto? Did you start off with like stocks and then move your way into crypto? Like, what was your first crypto you bought? How did it lead you into DeFi, or did you start in DeFi? Like, give us the lowdown. Like, how did you get here?
Oh, how many days have we got?
As long as you want to take, just go ahead and educate
As long as I
yourself.
want to take. All right.
Yeah, well, because we have a lot of people, and like Legion said, at the beginning of the show, we have a lot of people that tune in, and we have a lot of people that, during, after the show, are going to jump in your Discord, they're going to jump on your Twitter, and we have a strong amount of people, and we always get these compliments after the show of the response that they got, and Legion had the idea, and it's a very good one, to make sure that we talk about the person behind the project. So not only how'd you get into crypto, but anything personal that Billy would like to share about Billy, just so that people can get to know you personally.
Yeah, easy, mate. Sorry, I was typing away. All right. So I started in stocks way ago when I was 18. Messed around in that. Figured out a few little tricks in the stock market. But then, what was it? The first. Oh, yeah. GFC happened in 08. So I kind of got wiped out then when I was like 18. Pretty much most of my stocks I probably lost more than half of what I invested. So I kind of was like, this is crap. And then I went and joined the army, so I did that for a bit. And then after I got to the army and like had a bit of obviously cash from being overseas and stuff, and I built a house and did all that stuff. And then I just slowly sort of 2014 recession kind of hit, like a mini recession hit. And it just kind of hit the housing market a little bit as well. And then at that time, I ended up moving back away from, I was in Townsville because of the army, and then I moved back home to the Gold Coast. And during that time, I had to try and sell my house. And then I didn't make any profit on my house because of the whole housing market recession. So had a bit of a rough time financially in the early days. And then I just started going back into stocks a little bit because I did have a little bit of money left over. And I was playing with stocks, sort of learning how to do the stocks thing. I got into micro caps, and I was watching some gurus. I can't even remember the name, to be honest. I don't know if I'm still here or if my thing's frozen.
No, you're still good.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. That's all right. My thing's frozen.
Yeah, you're
cool.
good.
So I was doing that, and I watched some gurus anyway on these micro caps, and it's basically like the equivalent of penny stocks, but you invest in things that penny stocks that have a better chance of actually, going up. And one of the things was just looking at tying world events to companies. And one big thing, which I know is a taboo subject, but one big thing is cancer, and looking at pharmaceutical companies who do research in cancer. And as twisted as this sounds, no one's going to find a cure for cancer, but you can invest in companies that are trying to, or at least doing all these patent tests and trials for cures for cancer. And when they get to trial stages 2 and 3, and they eventually, if they can get to human trials, that's usually when it shoots up. But you want to get into them first when they're doing the first trial phases and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, biochem and all sorts of stuff. And you'll find often too, when these smaller biotech companies actually get something, when they get to human trials, they'll actually get bought out by people like Pfizer and these other major pharmaceutical companies. And that's when their stocks can skyrocket, like 1,000% and stuff like that. So I started playing that game around 2015, 2016. And then I found out about Bitcoin because I was playing WoW, World of Warcraft, for a while. And mates and I run around, and then we were just sick of grinding for gold. Because people who played WoW know back in the day it was pretty tough to grind and stuff. These days I made it really easy. And we found sites that were selling WoW gold, but at the time you could only buy them for this thing called Bitcoin. And so that's kind of what put me down the rabbit hole in crypto. Because I was like, what is Bitcoin? What is this thing? And it's like, what is this? Like, people are actually sending other people money on PayPal for like this freaking thing called Bitcoin that you just send like over the computer. It made no sense, but it meant we could get WoW gold. So we got into it. But yeah, and then the whole Bitcoin thing, rabbit hole, end up on like Bitcoin talk forums and all these other old school sites that some of them still exist. But a lot of them back in the day too, and I'm talking like 2016 even, there's what you call Bitcoin maxis, but a lot of them are like diehard Bitcoin fanatics. And even now they'll tell you like the philosophy of Bitcoin and everything that's coming out now, even all the altcoins, even crypto that we're doing, just totally goes completely against the philosophy. And if you see people like Billy Milk, who started Dogecoin as a literal joke, you'll see a lot of his tweets actually go along that narrative because he's an old school Bitcoin philosopher as well. But yeah, but that's basically the beginning of how I went down the rabbit hole. And there's part two. There's part two to that story.
That sounds like another spot on Glownation when we have you back.
Yeah, no, right. Part two, that story is a lot longer, but yeah.
Yeah. So that means you'll come back on Glownation then, right?
Yeah, for sure. Tell the
Yay!
story of how I ended up in in WoW groups and DJing groups, and then ended up being a part of Boda. So that'll be like another
Well, and
2 hour
Brad,
story.
yeah, and bring the founder of Dogecoin when you come back next time. Would you just put him at that for me?
Oh man, he's he's wild. You should watch his tweets. Like the way he speaks is like what I used to hear on those forums of like everyone trashing capitalism and like just everything, and now he just trashes every single altcoin. Like, yeah.
Well, and also don't go too far because after the show, at a time that's convenient for you, our amazing COO, Shane, I believe might want to have a conversation with you. So keep your, if you haven't already, you may have already done that, but if not, I know he's definitely going to want to have a conversation with you. I'm in Texas and he's in Ireland, and I can hear the wheels spinning already. So definitely stay tuned for that. And Mr. Legion, do we have a winner?
Okay, so this is crazy that this happened. This person is okay. So what we do is, since I can't see requests or anything like that, Jason sends me and tells me like who the requests are and who's coming up and all that, right? So he sent me a request. He sent me a name. He's like, this person's requesting to come up. I don't know who they are, but they're requesting to come up. Like, should I bring them up? Like, whatever, right? At the same time he's doing that, I'm doing my Twitter picker. And the person who won the Twitter picker was the person who was requesting to come up. So this is kind of nuts. It's like they had a sixth sense, like they already knew they were going to win. So they're like, hell, I'm just going to request because I know I won. Meta Zero. I understand you're up here as a speaker. I can't see, but I understand you're up here as a speaker. First, did you have a question or a comment? What led you to come up, first of all? Because this is all kind of crazy because you actually won. So
Hello, everyone. Hi. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. You were talking about people being shy and not popping up, and I have I've got other friends in other streams of Twitter that I speak to, and they do a lot of spaces, and I usually go up and speak in them. I'm not shy, put it that way. So I thought I'll pop up and not only say hello, but also to say thank you to you guys. And also to Billy, the team, and Boda and everybody there. And one for obviously doing this, because I think this is amazing. I think the things that you guys do, bringing these tokens together, talking about them, analyzing them, going through thick and thin, asking all the right questions. Every time Billy starts talking about Boda, I end up buying a little bit more. Just send him a message on Discord to say, Billy, stop selling it, man. I've really got no more cash to buy any more tokens. But and you know what? I got into Boda because of its BUSD rewards more than anything else. That's what really got me in. And when I got in and I spoke with people there and the community there, and especially team and Billy specifically, I loved his attitude towards crypto as a whole, and the fact that he was so realistic about the market and how it worked. He wasn't promising anything silly, and he was saying that to people on Telegram boards. So I remember at the time going, guys, seriously, don't be hoping for becoming millionaires overnight. Although crypto makes these stories, and that's very true. That's not, I suppose, the reality of it all, and that's not how it really works. And I had conversations with him about NFT, and I love his attitude towards the whole thing. And more than anything, I mean, I love the Boda token, and I love what it does. And I'm very hopeful for his future, but I do feel in safe hands with Billy and the team because I know that they're real, if you know what I mean. And the fact that he goes through the security of everything that is listed on Boda. I know he does some KYC verification. Billy, am I correct? I know he asked them for their IDs, and making sure that the money comes in is coming in through the right channels and is safe. And I even remember that there was an incident with one of the tokens where some of the guys came on the swap, bought the token, but then weren't able to sell it or move it or something like that. And I remember Billy was on video, the next day going, guys, I know who this person is. Don't you worry, I've got your back. And you know what? Just that moment alone, I felt safe in a market where in every possible token you could get your money taken away from you. Somebody comes along with this, not fresh, but real attitude, and actually tries to do something positive and do a good job of it. So even if there are other tokens that are doing similar things, I don't think the teams are similar, and I think that's very important. Once again, thank you for the for the prize, and also thank you for allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming up. It was meant to be, because right when you requested to speak, you won. So you can stop by now. You won some. So thank you so much for coming up and all the kind words. We really, really do appreciate it.
And also, just real quick, MetaZero, I don't know what spaces you do, but send me a DM. Let's have a chat. Yeah?
Thank you. Okay, I will do. Cheers. Thank you.
For sure. Yeah, I'd like to have a quick chat with you. So let's see. What are we going to do? I'm going to ask the captain of the ship here. What do you want to do next? There's a couple of different ways that we can go. What are you feeling right now?
Oh, I know. I had to look at my my notes. Okay, so I've got to do my official Glow V2 shill real quick. Okay. Then I'm gonna have you, if you would, tell people, because you booked it. You tell people about our upcoming shows, because there's some bangers in there. So okay, official Glow V2 shill. Glow is a deflationary token. There's a 15% buy and sales tax. But don't you worry, that 15% is going to good places. 10% of that goes back to the holders as BUSD rewards. So all you have to do is hold Glow V2 and you actually get reward in BUSD. Part of that 15% goes to two different lotteries. One is, as long as you hold at least $20 worth of Glow, you have a chance of a daily $100 lottery. So every day you can win $100 in BUSD just for holding a measly $20 worth of Glow. Now, if you're feeling fancy and you want to hold $50 worth of Glow V2, you have a chance to win $10,000 in BUSD. Now, that one's not every day. That one's more like once a month or so. But yeah, if you have $50 worth, you can win $10,000. Now, here's the cool part. If you're listening and you currently have $100 worth of Glow, there's no transfer tax to split that between two wallets. Of course, you got to pay B&B gas fees or whatever, but you won't lose any of your Glow. If you split that into two $50 wallets, you now have two chances at the $100 and the $10,000, because you have now $50 wallets. Now, for the really, really cool part, the part that brought me to the project and what I love, part of that 15% also goes to a charity wallet. And what happens is the community puts forth what projects they would like to see the money go to. Then, after that, the community votes on these charities. The team, of course, as Billy was talking about earlier, they actually vet the projects and make sure they're legitimate. They make sure that the money is actually going to the children, for example, instead of the CEO's pocket. So once we've made sure that it's a legitimate charity, it's real deal, the money's going to the right place, and the community has voted on it once a month, whatever money is in that charity wallet goes to that charity. In many instances, when available, someone from the team has actually went to the charity and handed them, the check in person. Thus far, we are up to about $31,000 worth of charitable donations. So, and growing. So, if you're in our Discord, you can actually see all the charities and vote. on which ones you think the next month's money should go to. So that's the part that's near and dear to our heart. And of course, Glow is also on the Boda exchange swap. So you can totally go there and buy your Glow V2. And we have some cool things coming up. I will tell you one of the upcoming shows on the 13th. We have an official Glownation with the Glow team where we're going to be updating the roadmap. Glow is kind of reinventing, they're kind of changing the outlook of what we're doing. It's still going to be the lottery, still rewards. That's all. None of the key elements are going to change, none of the core, but we're just going to do things a little different. We have some really cool stuff on our roadmap, and we're going to be announcing all that on the 13th. Now, with all of that said, I'll give it over to Jason to tell everyone about our next couple of shows, because he worked very hard on this, and he got some really cool guests coming up. So, Jason.
Yeah. Before we do that, you got me laughing over here. Before we do that, question from Discord, because yes, we monitor, and sometimes there are people who are listening but can't get on and can't present their questions. So, Crypto Man X, who is normally, on our shows all the time, has brought up a question that he had. I feel like I have a pretty good answer for it, but this is to Billy, and he was commenting on the value and how inexpensive Boda is right now based on value for everything that's going on. He mentioned that it lost last year, or it launched last year. I'm sorry, and it had the typical launch spike, came back down, just like everything does. And did Billy have a idea or a summary of why he thought the price came back down the way that it did? I'm just going to say, personally, and Billy, I want you to answer this, but from my personal experience, holding all the ones that I do, that is a very, very typical action, is to have, a bunch of FOMO built up in the very beginning. You get a spike, people take their profits because, that's what some people do in crypto. I mean, they're here to make some money, and not everybody is in for the long term and wanting the reflections and all that. So, I see that just about everywhere. And of course, we are in a bear market right now, which absolutely does not help either. But to get Crypto Man X's question out there, Billy, did you see anything other than typical market scenarios or anything like that that caused a decline from the initial spike in price when you launched?
Yeah, so we got really lucky in that massive pump in October. So it was a culmination of the meme coin pump that happened on Halloween. We got sort of roped into that. Funny enough, we did all that marketing and all our promoters with Travlad and a bunch of other. We did our New York billboards as well. We did that almost 2 weeks prior to that pump. So, the money that we put in from marketing into doing big hype promo and everything actually happened 2 weeks before that pump. For some reason, I don't know why, what happened. Maybe people saw that 2 weeks prior and then saved a bunch of money to all put in. But we didn't plan that sort of event to happen. I'd already been awake for 3 days trying to get some utilities and stuff fixed, and our site fixed when that happened. So I was asleep for 8 hours during that pump. But that was all full retail investors. Like, it wasn't any, we didn't put it out to any wild groups or any pump and dump groups or anything. It wasn't like venture caps or anything trying to get in on it either. That just happened out of nowhere. Now, understandably, when that happened, we went to 60 mil market cap. We dropped to 30 mil market cap within sort of 8 hours. So that spooked a lot of people off. And then I was asleep that whole time too. So our whole Telegram was just going crazy. there was a lot of FUD, there was a lot of fear. Everything was just kind of a mess. When I came back, it was just panic mode. People also freaking out, thinking that I had left and I had dumped like a few $1 million worth or something, and stuff like that. Now, we did hold pretty well after that, though, around the 20 mil market cap for a couple of months. What screwed us in November, close to December, is we had a couple of guys who were volunteering as mods who I'd actually helped coach with crypto. I talked to them about crypto. They'd asked me 20 questions. I guess I had my guard down, but I was also trying to, be helpful and help these guys learn more about crypto. Now, they were some of our top holders. What they decided to do was then copy paste our smart contract, create their own little shitcoin scam meme coin, and then the three of them dumped on us in December or November, I think it was. So they took a fair bit of money out, and then they went and started their shitty little meme coin scam, which they scammed, and then they copy pasted, remade another one, which they managed to sucker people into again. I think they're up to like their third or fourth, scam shitcoin now. But that really hurt us in December. So that really smashed us. I think we lost more than half our market cap in December. And then just with the problems with the bear market and everything starting this year, also hasn't been helpful. So I keep an eye on everything. Like I keep an eye on all the wallets. I keep an eye on everything. When I say all the wallets, I don't keep an eye on all 6,000 of them, but definitely, the big holders or the people that are selling off. We've got a lot of loyal holders who've still held from day one, who haven't sold. But there are a couple who've been selling recently. And people have to keep in mind too, is that we started as a fair launch. We didn't do any pre-sales or private sales. So we're still up. Technically, we're still up from the launch price, which was almost zero. So we are still up about 4.5 times when we started. So those people from day one are still technically in profit. They're just not in, a large amount of profit. There's the psychology too. Like there's so many other reward tokens coming out now. People are swapping as well. Like I've seen people sell our token to go into Y5, go into Reflex, go into just all these other ones that are coming out sort of start this year. I've seen people sell out our token to go into meme coins that then get rugged like 4 weeks later. It's just, it's just what people do. And that's one really, really difficult thing about running a project, and even just anything with investments, is you can't read people's minds. So, you don't know if they are truly loyal to you or not, if they're just talking shit to your face and then, and then they're going to sell on you when they get the best chance, or, how are they feeling, with the markets? Are they just there to gamble? So is that why they're going to sell yours for the next, fingers crossed 100x gain meme token, which they often get rugged on, So that's where that whole thing kind of comes into it. I am actually doing a feedback form, which I need to post up. I was supposed to post up last week. We're going to do an honest feedback form, which is going to be completely anonymous. So people don't have to connect their emails or anything to the Google form. If they want to hear back from us, they can put their information in. But this is something I used to do when I was running a business, is just an anonymous feedback form where you want your customers, or you want, people, not even customers, just anyone really, to ask, what do you like about us? What do you don't like about us? And just don't hold back, because it's anonymous. So I'm going to post that up. I'll actually post it up later today. But that's something that we've been meaning to do for a while, because that's one thing too. Like I said, we can't read people's minds, and people get scared to also tell you honest feedback sometimes, which they shouldn't be. Like I can take it like either way, whether it's good or bad. I'm very, very open. Like Brian and I have really open discussions privately as well, about things. So, but that's one thing that we're definitely going to do with the feedback. So I'm not shy of these questions. We're very aware of these questions, very aware of the markup situation as well. The way I see it too, we're still another 100x from when we were at our all-time high. So the long-term goal is, with these buybacks and everything, and with, injecting our own funds into buying back Boda, like eventually we could see ourselves getting back there, but it won't be an overnight thing. We won't instantly pump back to 60 mil market cap overnight. But with what I'm building with the economy and everything, with the utilities pumping back, buybacks and things, we'll get there eventually. But I'm not going to promise that we're going to get there straight away. Realistically, it could take another 3 to 4 years to get us back there purely on us buying back. But obviously, if other people decide to buy in and things, obviously it would help it move along. But you've also got to factor in that people are going to cash out. So you've got to be careful. There's no point injecting like $1 million into it just to get to pump back to 60 mil just to have everyone else, sell, right? Where you could just do it slowly.
No, absolutely. And, that slow and steady growth is really what provides the foundation. And, I admire you, and I hope the audience heard your viewpoint on these things as far as, if you're going to be in this business and you're going to be out there, like Legion and I are, like our whole core team is, people like yourself. If you're going to be out there, you better be thick-skinned because every single thing you do, say, move, or breathe is going to come under a tremendous amount of scrutiny, and that is a good thing. In my opinion, because it keeps us all on point and it factors into the decisions that we make to make sure, okay, if we do this, what are the ramifications going to be? And that is a very good check and balance from the community. And I love the anonymous feedback forum that you're talking about. There are sometimes people who want to say something, but they're concerned that you might not like them anymore or whatever, and and I also understand that economically right now things are tough for some people, right? So I'm not mad at anybody if they need to cash out on a little bit of profit because of they may be in a position where they need it for something that is more relevant, food, gas, paying their mortgage, whatever. Not in any kind of way mad at them at all either. So I really appreciate what you just brought out, and that is that you're there, you're open, you're willing to answer questions, and you're even willing to answer questions from people who choose at that time for whatever reason to not identify themselves.
Yeah, that's it. And again, we need to know as well. We need to know the feedback, because if we're in our own little perspective, so as much as we can get feedback from other people to try and see, well, we think we're doing this way, and etc. Someone else might have an opinion that we may not have even heard of yet. So all that stuff's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, I had the wrong button. Absolutely, and I agree with you. Legion and I are in the same position all the time. Like, we want to hear, what do people like about the show? What do people not like about the show? So that we can constantly refine and redo and readjust and manipulate our system of what we're trying to do to best serve those who are kind enough to tune in and listen to Legion and I ramble. But they're really not tuning in for that. They're tuning in to hear about all these amazing projects that we have on. And we are so blessed and happy to have you dedicate some of your time to come on and let people know all about Boda. You've already got people buying while you're on the show. We've had one Senate. I'm getting a bunch of DMs about it. So you're getting some new wallets, and you're getting some attention. Legion brought up before we get too late into it. Legion brought up other people who are coming on the show. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are going to have some guy named Ryan. I don't know. He's with Reflex. Apparently has like 80,000 followers, and supposed to be real popular. You wanna talk to him about that, Legion?
Some guy named Ryan. Yeah, some guy
Yeah,
named
some guy named Ryan.
some guy named Ryan, better known as the Fud Hound, formerly the global head of products for SafeMoon. Now the CEO of Reflex is kind enough to give us some of his very valuable time, and he is going to be on the show tomorrow. So a definitely heavy hitter in the crypto space. Mr. the Fud Hound himself will be here to talk to us tomorrow about Reflex. So yeah, I'm very excited. The Safe Moon fanboy in me is screaming. So yeah, I'm very excited about that for tomorrow. And then you have
in order to
and you have pretty cool
in order to
Friday,
have
too.
a real powerhouse week, we had to have Boda on. We did our new concept of Moonshot Monday, which I can't promise is going to be every Monday, but we're going to try. And we had Cypher on this Monday. And the concept behind Moonshot Monday is to vet them as best as we can, as far as we're looking at the contract, make sure the LP is locked, 14 wallets are locked. There's some anti-rug pull mechanisms that are put in place, but do something on a semi-regular basis that introduces some new and exciting projects. I don't even know how many whitelist Legion. How many whitelists got given away on Monday for Cypher?
20,
20, 30?
20.
Yeah.
It was 5 in the space and 20 yesterday. So it's 25 whitelist spots.
Right. So, we're just trying to do some fun things, some new things, introduce everyone to very great, solid projects like Boda, but also, try to put some people in there that we can vet the best that we can. It's always not financial advice. We're not claiming to be expert vetters or doxing or claiming that Glow supports anyone. But we've had a lot of really good feedback about it, and it's an advertising space. Unlike this, it's an advertising space. So it's something that we hope to create a little momentum behind. As far as some of us just like to take that extra $50 or $100 and roll the dice, right? So we Shane and Brian, our CEO and COO, are really good at looking at contracts and just making sure there's some very simple anti-rug things in the contract. And like I said, nobody's betting anyone, but it's it's going to be fun, and we're going to try to start once a week rolling out some potential project ideas. So if you're in this space, you represent a project, DM me or DM Legion, and we will, send us the contract number for the project. We'll have a little look at it. Ryan the Fun Hound. Go ahead, Legion.
Real quick, you brought up a good point. Starting next week, my personal life schedule is changing a little bit. So Glownation, for the most part, is probably going to be a Moonshot Monday show and then a Friday show. We're probably going to go away from the 3 or 4 shows a week for a little while anyway. But yeah, it looks like we're probably going to be doing Mondays and Fridays, everything after 5 o'clock Central. So probably like 6, 7 o'clock Central on Mondays and Fridays. I'll let y'all know once we have it nailed down, but that's what it looks like Glownation is going to be starting next week.
Yes, and like you said, we do have a very special announcement on the 13th. It'll be all Glownation. There is, it'll be all Glow V2 also. There is going to be a bunch of Glow V2 tokens that are going to be given away, and it's specifically given away, and it's specifically designed, as you said earlier, to introduce